Good morning, dearest panel, speakers, and authors. I am Nakamura Hanarina from the Philippine State College of Aeronautics, and I would like to present to you our thesis entitled The Influence of Skills Acquired Through Education on Job Mismatches, an analysis of aviation tourism graduates of Philippine State College of Aeronautics, batch 2017, 2018, and 2018-2019. For the background of the study, the researchers' aim in this study is to know the insights and perspective of the graduates to the program they chose, specifically the aviation tourism graduates rather than the effects of the mismatch. The study will deal more with the graduates' perspective, particularly PhilSCA graduates in the field of aviation tourism. The researchers expect that the data to be gathered will contribute to the formulation of a solution that will address job skills mismatch. The researchers also aim to recognize the program's strengths and weaknesses through a graduate's perspective to know if there is a connection between their experience from school to the workplace. The researchers also aim to identify the level of skill sets provided by the program to know if the students develop a certain level of skills that help them in their job. Lastly, the researchers aim to determine the percentage of graduates who ended up in a job mismatch. To the introduction, education is one of the major requirements needed for an individual to possess a job. Depending on the type of degree rather, the individual possesses, education provides and improves hard skills, which are job-specific skills that are required to perform with expertise on certain tasks and are achieved through education and training, and soft skills, which relates to a person's work ethic and may include personal traits. As colleges and universities aim to develop graduates that are equipped with enough technical knowledge and skills, college students ready themselves to become one of the workforces within the years required for their choice of program. For students who wish to belong to the aviation field, PhilSCA provides 3 institutes with 10 programs, one of them being aviation tourism. Next, please. Under this research paper, the authors have created 5 SOPs which will guide the authors while gathering and examining the data. First, what is the influence of skill sets provided by the program on the job mismatch of the aviation tourism graduates in terms of their perception? Second, what are the strengths and weaknesses of the program from the graduate's perspective in terms of the following? Program, student workload, teaching quality, interdisciplinary, facilities, and industry linkages. Third, what is the skill sets level of the graduates provided by the program in terms of soft skills and hard skills? Fourth, what is the percentage of graduates who ended up in a job mismatch? And the last one, what plans can be developed to address the job skills mismatch among aviation tourism graduates? Moving on. According to Mavromaras and Sloan in 2014, there are many cases that shows evidence that many college graduates are employed in jobs for which a degree is not required and in which the skills they learned in college are not being fully utilized. Dimapilis Baldos of the Department of Labor and Employment in 2012 stated that one of the major drawbacks that confront the Philippine labor market is jobs and skills mismatch. People earnestly seek jobs but overlook the fact that their skills do not meet the requirements needed by employers. There is still a huge gap between the knowledge and skills that students acquire during their studies and the required job market demands. This is according to Wild and Schulz-Huling in 2020. Some authors argue that there is a clear mismatch between the abilities acquired by university students and the professional capacities required in the labor market. This is according to Martinez Clares and Gonzalez Morga in 2018 and Aranda et al. 2021. This mismatch is presently viewed as a significant issue in higher education, and as such, it is important that all of the educational systems agents find consensus on students' practical training. For the research gap, the authors have tackled upon is the job skills mismatch attained through the aviation tourism program of PhilSCA. In the Philippines, the skill gap is a significant issue. PhilSCA is the only state college in the Philippines to provide a degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Tourism. This program aims to build professionals in the travel and tour industry. And as the only state college providing the program, there is a growing concern of if the courses under the program provide enough skills to have students land in a matched workplace. Moving on, the study's conceptual framework is based on the International Labor Office on the measurement of qualification and skills mismatches of persons in employment. Based on Figure 1, the study considers 2 factors in determining the influence of the acquired skill sets of the graduates in their job mismatches: the aviation tourism program and their job. The researchers categorized the graduates as matched based on their jobs in the aviation and tourism industry, their nature of work, and through the list of jobs by Kairos Institute and the National Career Services. Otherwise, their graduates are mismatched if their jobs are not in both industries. Let us move on. For the research methodology, the researchers used the mixed method research in this study. For the quantitative method, the researchers provided a survey to the respondents, and for the qualitative method, the researchers conducted an interview with the chosen respondents. 10 matched participants and 10 mismatched participants. Next, please. In analyzing the data gathered, the statistical treatment that the researchers used are percentage, frequency counts, mean, and Likert scale, a scale that would be used to gather respondents' experiences and opinions. Considering that this study has categorical variables and uses a simple random sampling, then it is applicable. Lastly, the researchers used regression analysis to determine the strength and character of the relationship between one dependent variable and a series of independent variables. Moving on to Chapter 4, the findings and conclusion under SOP1 is there is no significant influence between the skill sets provided by the program and the job mismatches of the aviation tourism graduates. The recommendation, changing the perspectives of the graduate, relies on providing more work-related experiences, such as providing more hands-on activities for the students, may it be academic or extracurricular. For the findings and conclusion under SOP2, based on the graduate's perspective, the range of lessons offered, the number of courses offered, student workload, teaching facility, interdisciplinary learning, research capacity, and industry linkages are the strengths of the program, while facilities and labor market relevance are the weaknesses of the program. The recommendation, upgrading the facilities of the Aviation Tourism Department as it affects the way of students' learning capability due to their surroundings. For the labor market relevance, the graduates recommended creating more connections within the aviation tourism industry to provide more knowledge and skills that are a trending need to the work field among the educational institution, to the educators, and to the students. For SOP3, the findings is aviation tourism graduates are satisfied with their skill sets acquired from the program because they deemed it to be useful in their careers. The conclusion, the researchers came into conclusion that the graduates are satisfied with the soft skills and hard skills that are provided by the program. The recommendation, the respondents suggested to upgrade hospitality and general administration courses to supply students with hospitality and administration-related skills. For the fourth SOP, the findings and conclusion is that the percentage level of graduates who ended up in a job mismatch is 161 or 77.4%. The recommendation, create a more physical engagement-based learning approach by having training and laboratory classes to gain knowledge and skills that can be applied to their future work in the tourism and aviation industry. And for the last SOP, the findings, according to the graduates, the school should upgrade facilities as well as adding more hands-on activities related to tourism and aviation by having more laboratory classes and improving courses focused on work-related skills. The conclusion, the data gathered from the graduates in regards to their perspective has stated some plans that can be developed to address the job skills mismatch among aviation tourism graduates. Recommendation, the graduates recommended for the improvement of the courses that are focused on providing more work-related skills for the development of career guidance, labor market information systems, and flow of information between job seekers, companies, and educational institutions. The following slides contain the references used in this research. Thank you very much for listening.